Hello, welcome back. I'm Carrie from Balanced Bodies. I have Steph with me here today, and we're going to be talking a little bit about her journey throughout the process of the last 4 months. So, Steph, tell us who you are, why, where you live, and what you do.
So my name is Steph and I live in Elmira, Ontario, and I'm a yoga teacher. I've been a yoga teacher for 2 years now. And yeah, prior to that, I was a private investigator for 13, 14 years. So I've kind of calmed it down a little bit.
I remember hearing about your job the first time we met at the gym, and I'm like, what? You do what?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
seem like a movie, not like a movie job, not a real life someone that I know.
yeah. I loved it. It was a great job.
Yeah, that's so cool. Okay, so where are you with your health, fitness, and happiness? Where were you, sorry, before joining the program? And why did you decide to look for me as a coach?
Um, I would I would say that I was in a fairly decent spot with my health. I've always been a very active person, um, conscious of what I eat, but would always like to indulge like most people. So I wasn't overly I wasn't desperate for something, but I knew that I needed a shift somewhere because I was finding I would become more physically active if I wanted to counterbalance eating bad. So I
Mhm.
wouldn't be doing it to benefit my body. I'd be doing it to benefit my bad eating habits.
Yes, right.
And I could tell like my clothes were fitting a little bit tighter and I just wasn't confident and I just wasn't overly happy with the way I was kind of letting things go. So I've followed you for years and been to the gym for years and always loved the classes and loved your personality. So I was just really interested, and that's when I decided to reach out.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's so true, right? Like we often, and for so long, we've been told that just exercise, you can eat whatever you want, right? And maybe it worked for us in our 20s, but as we're getting older into our 30s and 40s, it really just doesn't work that way anymore, right? And the amount of times that we abuse our body, like, just go exercise more, you're actually not doing your body any good.
Hmm.
So, okay, I'm just curious. Was there anything that you were skeptical about before joining the program?
Honestly, really just the price.
Yeah.
And when I came down to it, looking at it, like just in general, you can't really, I know it sounds funny, but you can't put a price on your health, right? I've
Yes.
spent a lot more money in a lot worse ways. So
Yeah.
I was like, I just need to do it for myself. So yeah.
Yeah. And the investment on our health is so important. Like we so often oh, I can just do it on my own, or, oh, I'll just like buy this book and learn how to do it. But it's more the accountability piece. Like there's so much more that you're getting when you invest in a program like this than
Hmm.
just like, here's the information, go for it. Right.
Right.
Okay, so you've now finished the program, you're 4 months in, you've done amazing. Can you touch on some of the specific results or benefits you've experienced since joining the program, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or all of them?
So definitely this sticks out right at the beginning when I started. It was the first week and there was the two cleansing days and just even carrying on through that whole week. Um, Definitely a little irritable at the beginning, but then I had it, and I try to explain this to people, but I felt so much more clear-minded and not foggy, like not even knowing I was foggy before, but
Yeah.
everything was just so much crisper and clearer that my perception of things were totally different. And I never really thought eating had that much of an effect on your mind. Like, I mean, obviously your body, but yeah, I thought that was the most amazing feeling.
Yeah, that's so cool. And I love that you mentioned that because um, a lot of times people come into it for this reason. And I'm going to say it's 99% of the time weight loss, right? But when what they get out of it is so much more because, like you said, you don't even realize that your brain's foggy until you clear it up and you're like, whoa, I'm like seeing things
Hmm.
clear now. And it just makes such a big difference. So, yeah, there's so much more to it than just like the weight loss that comes with it. It's almost like the weight loss is the bonus and the other stuff is,
Mhm.
whoa, I didn't even know this was happening.
Mhm.
Um, was there any results or benefits that you achieved that you weren't expecting that ended up being a pleasant surprise? I know the brain fog was one of them, but was there any other results that came?
Um, Maybe just like my overall strength, just because I was pushing myself a little bit more with lifting heavier weights, and doing the classes that you had provided and following along with those. So just my overall body strength, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, your physique changed, your composition changed for sure. Like you slimmed everything, just slimmed right down, right?
Mhm. I think
So,
the you don't realize it until you see it. And that's why although I didn't love taking the pictures every week, but I loved looking back and comparing them and just
yeah,
being like, wow, like I didn't realize, that's the way that where I carried it, where I carried the extra weight and where I carried a lot of the bloating and the swelling and that sort of thing. So
yeah,
I thought it was really interesting to be able to look back and be like, like something really did need to change because it just didn't look healthy.
yeah. And I mean, in the pictures, as uncomfortable as they are, they're so great, even just for where I was to where I've been. And then, you can kind of see like what you said, you were swollen. That's the inflammation from the inflammatory foods that you were eating. So you weren't very big to begin with, right? You didn't have a lot of weight to lose. Like I think at the end it was 10 or 11 pounds, right? So it wasn't a lot of weight to lose. It was just a matter of healing your body from the inside, reducing that inflammation, getting you to eat more, because like you and everyone else, we all think that we need to eat less to be able to weigh less, but eating more has actually benefited you more. You're super busy in hockey, you're doing hockey, you do yoga, you do the exercise class, you need the body to fuel. So your body was actually like shutting down, going, I'm going to save everything because I don't know when you're going to feed me properly next, right?
Yeah.
And now that you're feeding it on a regular basis, it can release what it needs to, get rid of what it needs to, and keep what it needs to,
Hmm.
right? So it now
Hmm.
knows how to function properly. So yeah, that's
Hmm.
awesome.
Hmm.
What would you say to someone who's considering reaching out to me about the program, but they're skeptical as well, or on the fence, or they're scared?
I would probably just say, you just have to do it. There's never a great time. There's never gonna be, it's not gonna be Christmas. It's not gonna be Easter. It's not gonna be a birthday party or a wedding or something like that. You just have to do it. And then I think that's why, your check-in days were Mondays, but mine were for me Fridays because if I if I was gonna do this, like I needed to start it that day I talked to you because I
Yeah.
had it in my mind and I was like, I'm not waiting till tomorrow because then I'm just gonna binge eat tonight and make it even worse for tomorrow. So I I maybe that's just my personality where I'm impulsive like that, where I need to do it right away and get it done and start on that new track.
Yes, I love that you said that because I've never been a person that's like, well, I'm going to start Monday. And I don't believe that in that. Like, I don't, if someone wants to join the program, when they're ready, if it's Wednesday, we're ready. Like, we're
Hmm.
going, right? Because if you wait, exactly like you said, I start Monday, so I'm going to eat everything until Monday that I know I'm not going to be able to eat while I'm on the program.
Yeah.
And then having that mentality kind of actually sabotages you throughout it because you're like, it's only for 90 days. I only have to eat like this for 90 days. When really it's a lifestyle that you're creating. And it's almost like you're leaving that past behind you. Right.
Hmm.
And you made that decision on a Friday and we're starting on a Friday. Like it
Hmm.
doesn't have to be Monday. So
Hmm.
yeah, I love that point that you made. That's great. Now, just last question here. Who would you recommend this program for?
Anybody, as far as whether they want to lose weight or they don't want to lose weight. Because even if you're, you know, satisfied with the way you are, the way you fit in your clothes, you could still be eating like not very great. And I think that still makes a huge difference with just like the mind clarity. And I mean, we only have one vessel to carry us through this life. So yeah, that, you always envy those people that can crush McDonald's 3 times a week and, not change and be fine in a bathing suit in the summertime, but you just wonder what their insides look like and what everything else is doing. So I I would recommend it for anybody who wants just to have more longevity, I guess, because I'm hoping that's what it's going to give me.
Yeah, yeah.
In the
Well,
end,
your
like
insides are healthier, right? Like your body's healthier. You're going to be able to do this
yeah,
for a longer period of time.
yeah. And I mean, I'm turning 39. I was born in 83. I think I'm turning 39 in the summer. And I mean, I notice things are changing a little bit. My body's getting a little sore in different spots. And I feel like if I have control over the eating, and that's one way that I can, because everything's kind of interlinked, in my opinion, anyway. So,
Oh, for sure, for sure.
yeah.
What we eat totally determines how our body feels. And back to that point of those people that can crush McDonald's 3 times a week, they have no idea what it's like to eat healthy. So they feel that they know, even though they don't gain weight, like you said, it doesn't mean their insides aren't unhealthy, but they have
Mhm.
no idea what it feels like to be healthy.
Mhm.
So until they remove that and remove all those other terrible foods they're eating, they won't actually know, right? Like
Mhm.
you've had the experience along the way where you've eliminated some things and then brought it back in and you're like, whoa, that did not sit well with me. So it's like a learning curve as you go, right? You learn what works for your body and what doesn't, and what you're going to just like ultimately get rid of, or be like, okay, only every once in a while I'm going to have this because it doesn't serve me, right?
Mhm. The last week I had my first kind of allergic reaction where I broke out in hives,
Mm.
and I was told not to exercise or sweat or do any of that stuff. So I haven't been doing that in the last 3 days, 4 days. But because now it's kind of turned, instead of me trying to counterbalance the bad eating with the exercising, if I know I'm staying on track with my food, it doesn't stress me out if I can't exercise that day, because I
Yeah.
know I don't necessarily need to. Like I can go for a walk instead, and instead of, breaking out like a massive sweat. And
Yes.
it's funny how it's different now.
Yes, I love that you said that. I love that you said that because that's a whole huge mindset shift for you, right? Like you even said at the beginning, the reason you started is because you were exercising to accommodate for your bad diet, right? And now it's like, actually don't have to exercise. Like my body needs this fuel, whether I'm moving or not, and I can just move on. And as soon as I'm able to exercise, I'll go back because you do like it, I'm sure, right?
Mhm.
There's some part of you that likes to
Yeah.
exercise and you're not using it as a tool to get rid of food. You're using it as a tool to strengthen your body and make it healthier.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
so great. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.
You're
If
welcome.
anyone watching has any questions, please reach out and I'm happy to answer them. Have a good day.
Thanks, Carrie.